then, time for some Need for Speed. I got the chance recently to head to EA's offices in Guildford, and I got a full day of hands-on time with this game on PS4, and I got to capture some gameplay to bring it home to show you guys. Need for Speed was a franchise that I threw a lot of time into when I was younger, all the way back to the original Underground and Underground 2. Most Wanted was a big one as well with the Blacklist, and the last game that I really enjoyed, Undercover. Since then, I've been taken away by other games like first-person shooters, but what I was hearing is that this game goes back to its roots and would please a lot of veterans on the franchise. So when EA gave me the opportunity to go out and play this game, I took it without even thinking. Is this true, that the game really is something that veterans will work with, and the customization is on point? Well, I guess you better watch this video to find out. So first off, let's start with the garage, the customization, as I'm sure this is what a lot of players will want to know about. It's pretty extensive. Body kits, wing mirrors, skirts, quarter panels, rims, hoods, exhaust, diffusers, tyres, handling, engine tuning, paint, decals. It's all there. And presented really nice as well. The environment is interactive in the way that you cycle round the car with the controller to get up close and personal with the parts that you're changing. And then you can draw out and just view the car as a whole and sort of admire your work, so to speak. I was pleasantly surprised at the customization. It's certainly deep and rich enough in its variety to feel like you're making some noticeable differences to the way that the car works and looks. For example, different tyres would make the car grip more or less, so you could have a car that was geared to, well, going round corners drifting, or going round corners properly. You could do whatever you wanted. You also had total control over the way that the car handled by tweaking certain parts of the suspension, meaning the car really was truly a work of what you'd done and it was going to be unique. And it didn't feel like I was being channeled down a path by the developer. I got to make the choices that I wanted to make. And well, when there's no blockades in your way, you tend to find things much easier to deal with, and that's exactly what I got here. You can have up to 6 cars in the garage with one equipped as your main ride, but you can swap them out at will. And overall, this system is what I wanted for a Need for Speed game, and it's what I expect from a Need for Speed game. What makes me happy most, though, is the simplicity of the system shone through massively, and I didn't feel like it was any difficult to change the engine part than it was the rims. Everything was nice and simple, laid out in a way that I could understand it. Well, I could understand it, then you're going to understand it. There are some improvements that I can mention, and probably the most notable in the customization section would be the ability to change all of the rims and their colour in one clean sweep. I believe you can do the colour to all of the rims at once, but once you move from front to back, as they're in 2 sections, if you choose a new rim design, it wipes your colour preference. Also, rim choice can only be applied to the front or the back at one time, depending on the set that you're changing. It's great to have that option, having different rims on the front and the back, but I would like to have one option so I can put all the rims exactly the same style on the car at once. I don't know if that option was there, maybe I missed it, but if I missed it, then maybe it wasn't obvious enough. So if that wasn't in there, that'd be a good addition. And from the garage to the highway, what's this game like to handle and control? Well, luckily I had the whole day on a blank PlayStation account to mess around with the cars on offer, and within maybe 15 to 20 minutes I'd mastered the basic controls. I don't really play console all that often, but they're definitely better for playing driving games because of the analog control. But drifting, which isn't easy in this game, is something that took time to master for me. I spent a good portion of the day tweaking and changing parts like the tyres, and finally came up with a good solution with the Subaru BRZ with some semi-drift optimised tyres. Although it took a while, again it showed the depth of customization in this game, and that I had to work and try things out to find a good balance for what worked with each car. I switched out to a Mustang later on and tuned it for straight line speed, and it felt absolutely awesome, exactly what you want a Mustang to do, until it came to a corner, and it just would not go round the corner, and that's exactly in true Mustang fashion. They're not built to go round corners, they're built for straight line speed. The variety of car style on offer here is great. A lot of people had the concern that they didn't think there were enough cars in the game, But once you've got your hand on one, there are so many customization options, especially the Japanese cars in this game, that having less cars than before didn't really feel like a massive issue for me. The variety of car style here on offer is great, and the controls are fairly easy to get used to, but they are harder to master than you might think. There's a good skill curve going on here in this game, and that's good, because it rewards players who put time into it and find a good balance of parts and structure and things like that, but it also allows a novice player to simply jump in, play a few races, and then shut the game down again. In terms of story, I'm not going to go too much into that. I don't want to reveal anything, because if you're looking forward to the game and you do want to play the story, then I don't want to spoil it for you. But I was in like this makeshift recording studio that seemed to be a conference room playing this game, so I wasn't really focusing on the story all that much. The game is open world though, so you could just drive around at free will and do the races that you wanted, and depending on who set up the races, there are in-game characters that can do that for you. They'll be marked up in different colours on the in-game map, and they correspond to different types of things that you're going to be doing in the races. One thing that did catch me off guard though is that sometimes you can't access those races unless you've opened a text message in your mobile phone, and the mobile phone acts as like an in-game menu. So to get to some of the races, you needed to open a text message from the characters in the game, and if you didn't bother to check the messages for a while, then you'd end up running out of new races to do. It took a while for me to realise this, but I did get back on track in the end. And the world that you're in, well, it does look very pretty. I think here on the PlayStation it's somewhere between 900p and 1080p. I didn't really ask for specifics, but I can confirm that it is 30 frames per second. So if you do want that 60 FPS experience, then you're going to have to wait for the PC version that comes out in March, which is quite a long wait. But through the 30 FPS sort of window that I had, you could see that there was some true quality that had been put into the style of the game, the sort of weather effects that were going on, the reflections out there, the lighting was really great. But one thing, Ghost Games, you need to give me back my neon. There is no neon that you can put in the cars in the game, and maybe that's just me going back to the underground days, but I'd like to have like this cool blue neon glow coming from underneath my car. Maybe that's something that you could put in later on down the line. One final thing, and this is a little bit of a gripe, the game is always online, which means you have to be connected to the internet whenever you want to play, and in my book that's just not really necessary. It'd be nice to have a fully offline option for when the internet breaks, plus it means that I don't actually have to have the internet, so if I want to take my PlayStation away somewhere that I can't get internet connection, I could still play the game. But there you go, that's your overview of the new Need for Speed game. It is a true reboot of the franchise, and you can see a lot of underground tendencies in there. The customization is over 9,000, and the environment that you play in is really, really nice. The controls are nice too. As I said, they're hard to master, but they're easy to get going with. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it today. If you did, let me know down in the comments. This is something completely different. I don't do racing games on my channel, but I got the chance to do something different, so I thought I'd take it. Make sure you leave me a like down there as well. But until next time, my name is Westy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Make the ground shake.